Get in the car, bitch.
Today, we are circling back to a very familiar case of Sherry Papini. Listen, I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not picking on Sherry Papini per se. Maybe I am. Here's the thing. If you fake your kidnapping to go hang out with your ex-boyfriend, put the entire county on a mad hunt, and then put thousands of dollars into media assets for your fake kidnapping, and then you get back home and you blame it on POC, I'm talking about your story. I'm going to talk about it. I'm talking about it. Okay? That's it. We have the original first raw interrogation with Keith, Sherry's husband, and Sherry Papini after she got back from the alleged kidnapping. Now, you and I know that everything that she's about to say is a complete fabrication. She has even basically pled to it, okay? And that's what makes it so fascinating. I've heard that this footage is kind of disturbing in the sense that it's almost amazing how quickly she comes up with all of the lies. If at any point you start to believe Sherry, pause the video, get up, go get a glass of water, look outside, taking a deep breath, and remember that she lied and she went to court, okay? Then come back and finish it because this is crazy. This is wild. Bandage on Sherry's nose. Fake. She asked her ex-boyfriend to break her nose to make the story more convincing.
So we'll get started.
A lot of this, again, was just really,
12:21.
What?
I don't,
What?
I mean, I still don't know you about this.
Okay.
But I have absolute faith in my husband.
Oh.
And
About what?
I think taking him away would make things harder. So I feel like it will be easier with Keith
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah. That's if you want him
And
here.
it's-
You want him here.
And I'm feeling very nervous because I still don't really know you guys. I mean, I kind of do.
Is there anything we can do to help
She
you
needs a safety net.
feel more comfortable with this?
Not.
I think at this point, the investigators believe her fully. Also, real quick, big shout out to Crime Circus, who acquired this footage and made it incredibly high quality for us to watch.
You know, I know Kyle's heart. Kyle and I have had one-to-one conversations. Kyle and I have had teared-up conversations. Okay, Kyle and I have been shaking our heads at the same time, trying to figure things out. I mean, there's emotion behind it. We're just not, brazen, cops that just don't have feelings or care. Okay, I've cried in the shower. I try not to cry at home a lot in front of the kids because they don't like seeing it. I've cried in the shower. That's the level of care.
They're building trust right now.
I don't know.
What, Sherry?
There's
What?
certain things that are very difficult to explain. There's certain things that for me, it's a feeling. It's not facts.
Okay.
So if there's something that's not a fact, if there's something that I was feeling, because I don't speak Spanish, but there was a lot of body language, and I can understand body language. So there's things for me that I feel went a certain way. Are those things that you want,
Yep.
or are those things you want me to hold back because they're not facts?
Tell me anything you want.
Okay.
You tell us what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and what you thought, what you felt, what you smelled, what you.
If you didn't understand that, like I said, when Sherry came back home, she blamed this kidnapping on 2 Hispanic women.
You tell us everything.
Okay.
And then we'll put them through the investigation and through follow-up questions.
So to you, everything is important.
Yes,
It
yes.
doesn't- Okay.
Yep. There's no stupid comments. There's no stupid questions. There's no stupid answers. Everything, I want to know everything on your mind.
And that's because I'm thinking about everything a lot, and that's where I'm like, is that important?
Sherry looks like she would ask her kidnappers to speak Spanish. I don't believe that or speak English. I don't believe that for a single second.
Okay.
So on November 2nd, 2016, what happened?
Oh my God, so dramatic!
On the day.
From the beginning.
Yeah, start there and see what happens.
Let's talk about the Christmas present with Keith.
Reeling in her
I started
support.
wrapping a Christmas present for Keith, the little American flag pillow that Tyler and I had picked out the night before at Kohl's.
What was that?
And I couldn't find any tape. I had taped one side, ran out of tape, and then couldn't find any more tape anywhere else. Got very frustrated, left it on the ground and left it open because there was no more tape to complete the wrapping of it. Did my usual routine, fed the chickens.
The chickens.
And yeah, text messaged my husband to come home for lunch.
Oh my God.
Which, looking back, it's quite embarrassing. He's like, thanks for, that last text message. Honey, will you please come home to have sex with your wife for lunch?
So you text him to come home for lunch. And we're cool. Okay, we know the connotation. Gotcha.
Oh, that morning was weird too. Tyler had woken up from a dream, and I don't know if either of your children have ever done this, but
Tyler had woken up from a dream. Sherry, how is that relevant to your kidnapping? My job, the reason why we're here, is I try to make sense of the bullshit that you're watching. I understand it's very hard to watch. And what I think Sherry might be doing is she's switching into her performer mode, her charm mode, her charisma mode. Like there's men around, she's, oh, let me be silly, let me do this, ha ha ha. And she's ramping up her storyteller, right? So she's talking about the present, she's talking about the kids, and she's gonna ramp up. I think she's also gonna be the type of person that goes off into tangents to buy more time for her lie.
So you went to daycare that morning, right? You remember that? Okay. Tell me about your drive to daycare.
No, ordinary, just the
Normal
usual.
day?
Yep, absolutely, just the normal. Fed the kids breakfast. Dropped them off at Pandora's. Nothing unusual. It wasn't even a hard goodbye. Sometimes they're like, "No, don't leave me." It wasn't even like a hard, difficult goodbye.
Whoa. Oh my God. Did anyone just overanalyze what she just said? In that moment, when Sherry dropped off her kids, she knew she was leaving that day. That's why she's analyzing that goodbye so heavily. And she brings this up during the interrogation. Hilarious.
And then when you left daycare, tell me about what you did after daycare.
Drove back home.
Okay.
It wasn't even a hard goodbye.
Shoes, went out to the chicken coop, cleaned the coop, and then just started my usual cleaning, everything.
Wow, I wonder how many other little Easter eggs I'm going to get
for
there.
lunch pretty often, and had been doing like the at-home lunches, which has been nice. We've gotten our little alone mommy and daddy time.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, yeah. So it had been nice that he's been coming home pretty early and stuff like that.
Anything out of the ordinary on your way home? Anything out of the ordinary when you got home or out taking care of the chickens? Anything that caught your eye or hear anything out of the ordinary? Chickens, by the way. How many chickens do you have?
We used to have 10.
Okay. Sore subject?
We lost a couple.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, we used to have 10.
We're talking about your
Gotcha.
kidnapping, ma'am.
Yeah, we used to have every type of chicken.
Where you were abducted, beaten, branded, and held captive. Like, the chickens, Sherry?
I'm pretty sure it was the 2 Americanas that we lost, one of which was one of my favorite ones, Lady Hawk. In America.
Oh my God, she's
My
weird.
favorite chicken is still there though, which is she's human size.
cute,
And
she
like
Is it silver lace? Is it silver lace?
Tyler, we have a black and all black one.
Yeah.
It's nicer,
Yeah.
it's gigantic. Her and Violet
She fucking said chicken one more time.
did my
This is sweet.
absolutely usual. Got to the mailboxes,
Okay.
or just before the mailboxes started to slow down. I was just about to transition into walk, so it's run, walk, run, walk. Right when I got towards the
Okay.
mailboxes was right before it was
Run,
gonna
walk,
say,
run, walk, chicken. Run, walk, run, walk.
That's what the app does.
We've listened to the app. It's
Oh,
pretty
God.
powerful. Now, walk.
Yeah.
Now, slow
You're
down.
halfway through.
Right?
You're
Yeah.
doing good.
Yeah. So it's a funny app.
Yeah.
So you get almost to the mailboxes and you think
Sorry, my
about.
lips are like cracking and
Do you need some water?
no, everything's like just
So you about
painful right here.
She gives what I would think chicken girl energy is, okay? And let me just say, not all chicken girls are liars that fake their kidnappings, but she's giving chicken girl energy. Like,
Sorry.
You're good.
About
You're about to the mailboxes.
to the mailboxes
And these are the mailboxes near.
at the end of the Sunrise Drive. My mailbox.
And if I forgot to tell you this one tidbit when we laid out the ground rules. Sometimes we're going to ask some dumb questions for clarification, like I just asked because I knew it was there, but for our case management, sometimes we have to ask clarifying questions. So if I ask a question or Kyle asks a question, you're like, are you really that dumb? You know, it's that mailbox.
It's something you probably have a form that needs to be filled out for something.
No, it's because in court processes. So if you don't mind, I'll just digress for a minute, take a break.
No, that's okay.
You say you were running to your mailboxes or the mailboxes,
Okay.
and we move on through that. And 2 years down the road, he or I are in court, and somebody wants to ask us questions about the mailboxes. Well, how do you know it was her mailboxes? Did you ask her if it was the mailboxes? So that's the kind of crap we got to deal with sometimes.
Got it. Okay.
So that's why we ask some of those dumb questions, because we get, not so much on the prosecution side, but she knows what we're talking about, defense attorneys, to try to
I'm a
poke
chicken
holes,
girl and I'm
to try
proud.
to-
Well, and
Do-
Keith and I had
so
had
that's-
that. Yeah, Keith and I have had that conversation as well, because I told him one of things that I'm. Before all of this, I watched those shows. I watched those shows, and and I've read Elizabeth Smart's book. Like I don't know. I was the weird stay-at-home
She's
mom that watched the
trained.
random. What are those shows called?
true crime story.
Yeah, but
Is Sherry really gonna tell us that she didn't know what the name of all those shows on Discovery ID were? She just, what are those called? True crime. What kind of podcast are those? What? I read. I listen to that stuff all the time. You know, I just got it played in the background. Come on, dude.
yeah, like the
ID channel.
reality TV. I was like this stupid. I wasn't soap operas, but it was reality TV. Like I watched all that stuff, so I, like I'm thinking about that now. Where I'm like, oh my god, someone is gonna be on her side, defending her against all of this crap, and because I watched those shows, so I understand what you are saying.
That's where I'm coming from when we
Right.
ask. If we ask a question like, are you really that dense? You don't know which mailboxes I'm talking about. It's not because I'm dense. It's because I'm safeguarding us down the road so we can
Right.
not have to deal with all that
I
shit.
understand.
Sorry for
And
cussing. It's just that's what it is.
I've been cussing more than you have lately.
We're not mad at anybody. We're not casting judgment on anyone. It is what it is. Okay, stuff happens.
Hashtag
is
not
that
all
That
chicken
stuff is out
girls.
there. We need to capture it. We need to be accountable to it as far as the information and move on from it. It is what it is. No one's perfect. No one does everything right. I mean, there's no problems as far as that stuff goes on that you've alluded to that we know about. Okay, I mean, we'll talk about stuff. We'll talk about people we talk to. I got no problem with that. I'll tell you everything that I can. There's nothing. Kyle will tell you everything that he can. Okay, it may hurt. Okay, I mean,
Yes.
and I'm empathetic to that. I know Keith's empathetic to that. The bottom line is how we move on.
Dude, her facial expressions. Guys, tell me what this expression is when he says it may hurt. It's just very expressive.
That I can't. There's nothing. Kyle will tell you everything that he can. Okay, it may hurt. Okay, I mean,
Yes.
and I'm empathetic to that. I know Keith's empathetic. To
What was
Bottom
that?
line is
What do you think that was?
how we move on from here?
Veer from Doodly Boy. Night Mode says annoyance, sarcasm, an oh shit face, an I'm screwed face, fake validation, forced comfort. Wow, honestly, I love all of these answers. Why am I picking up disgust? Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards the annoyance thing. Like, she's annoyed that they do know everything. Laura says, Boze, do you think that they know at this point? I personally think that the investigators walked in planning and wanting to believe Sherry, but I think that they've seen enough interrogations and they've been in enough situations at this point to see she's not really acting like a victim. And I mean, like, it's like, well, what does a victim act like? There's people deal with trauma and grief and stress in so many different ways. But Sherry seems closer to somebody that's making up a story as they go than somebody that's trying to recount their incredibly difficult abduction.
So I don't care about that stuff and how on the outside people may say or whatever, but on the inside here, it is what it is, and we're on your side. Okay, we're here to defend. We're here to look for people that have earned the right.
And I don't care about, the whole what people say about.
It's easy to say that.
It's
I don't
easy to
care. I
say.
care about here.
Well,
I care
I imagine that
I don't care what everyone in the public is trying to say. I care about right here. I care about manipulating my husband. I care about keeping Keith under my total control, because as long as I have somebody in my delusional bubble with me, we can just say that they're all wrong. God, people just love to do that.
those conversations have happened in the last couple of days, or
Yes.
at least been touched a little bit.
Yes.
Redirect. It's back on topic. So you just about get to the mailboxes. And the mailboxes at
Yes.
Sunrise and Old Oregon Trail.
Correct.
Go from there, if you can.
Who broke her nose? She did.
For the mailboxes, I start to slow down.
Oh my God, here we go again. Allie,
I
thanks for the
see
raid.
a vehicle go past. I see a vehicle go past Sunrise Drive to maybe like the front two tires are past the actual street sign.
We ain't
And
got,
then it
yes,
backs
we
up.
ain't got past the mailboxes yet.
And I immediately have that feeling of, that was weird.
Okay, here's the abduction. Keith, no!
The window goes down, but it was
No.
it was a woman. And they back up.
A hard time calling.
It's frustrating because I know she was wearing a hat, but I can't see the color, and I can't see the color.
Rather
Focus.
Oh my God! Sherry, what was the color? What was the color of the hat? We've got investigators on the scene right now. They're swarming the house right now, but we need you to confirm what color was the hat?
I'll make a note.
He asked for help.
What color was that?
I want to say it's maybe like a hay or something to get my attention.
Is that the passenger or the
The
driver?
passenger.
Is the car on Sunrise right now, or is it still on the
No.
Old Oregon Trail?
Oh my God,
It's
dude.
on. It's on Old Oregon Trail.
How far away do you think you are when that happens?
Oh my God, no.
What
No.
are you asking?
When the car stops? Do you know about how close were you?
Which time? It stopped twice. Once when it went past the street sign, once when it backed up. Which time were you asking?
Oh.
Wow. Notice that hysterics. I'm the victim, I can't remember, into like, oh, what? Oh, what are you asking?
The first time, again, it went past Sunrise Drive sign, but not all the way. Backed up and stopped.
Dude.
Or we can move on.
I walked towards where the vehicle had backed up, but was still far enough away from it that, because I was still cautious,
Somebody said,
I had my
spit
phone
it
in my
out,
right hand
Papini.
and my earbuds on, and I took out my left to hear her, and then she opened the door, and then I saw the small revolver.
Sherry's saying that, like, they rolled down the window. Who does that? I figure a kidnapper would ambush you and be like, get in the car, bitch. Dude, I'm talking about the hat and the small revolver. Get in the car, bitch.
And I immediately ducked down. I crouched down, like in a ducking, crouching. I mean, my knees weren't on the ground. It was almost,
Can you demonstrate?
yes.
Oh, God. Here we go, Jennifer.
Okay, so
Oh,
across
no.
the road, phone's in my hand, towards the vehicle. This,
Oh, shit.
not all the way down, squatting, not
Okay.
crouching, squatting.
Okay.
Laid my phone down.
Get in, loser. You're being kidnapped. And then Sherry said she dropped to the ground and was like, no, like, get in the car, Sherry.
I can't remember if she said, we don't want to hurt you, we don't want to kill you. I can't remember exactly if it's we don't want to something, we don't want to something, we don't want to something. And then I put my phone down. As soon as I put it down, I was so mad because I couldn't call my husband. And as soon as I put it down, and then I turned and I pulled my hair out because I ran away, and I didn't, and I should have, and I just, that's all I.
Do you want to come back up to the table?
And then I got up and went this direction. And I can't remember lifting my leg, I can't remember the back door open.
Take a drink of water if you need to. I
Have a
wanna
sip.
Run something by you and see if this might be able to help a little bit. Breath, do some more.
Okay, I need you to, like, take 2 deep breaths with me. Okay, and do another one. If you did not know that Sherry was lying for a fact, went to court, everything, I need you to rate this lie on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, 10 if you would have been pretty convinced, 0 if you would have definitely had some suspicions. I would have been a 2. I would have wanted to have some empathy here. I often also find that we as humans, and especially we as humans on the internet, people are afraid to be wrong, especially with sensitive topics. I would have put myself at a good old 2, but something is not right here. Someone said, I'm not too sure, I'm kind of dumb, so a 5.
recalling things from like your first person view, correct? When you're going through, you're seeing it through your own eyes. You understand what I mean by that? You're doing good. Okay. But as you're going through this, you're pulling your memory from the backside of your head and trying to remember everything. And sometimes it goes back to your brain saying, I can't get there right now. It's kind of like a computer. You click on it, and the browser pops up and it says not responding, right? We've all been there. Okay. So sometimes your brain says, we're not accessing that part right now because it's not time. We're not ready for it. So I've done it in the past with different cases where you look at it from a different point of view, okay? Because your mind, your body uses different parts of your brain to access different pieces of information, okay? Believe it or not, that's what happens. So it may sound corny, it may sound silly, but sometimes it works and sometimes it helps the person telling the story. Going back to before you see the car, if there was a bird, a bluebird, a robin, whatever bird you pick, sitting on the fence line, sitting on the mailbox, sitting on the telephone line, or sitting in the tree, and this bird blew.
Like when I said I think there was a fire hydrant right there.
Dude, the calmness she switches to is crazy.
Let's pretend. Okay? And you have to roll with me on this because it does work. It does help sometimes. If there was a bluebird sitting up here in the tree, and the bluebird sees you running down the road, and the bluebird sees this car come up, can you imagine in your mind, looking at it from the bluebird's perspective, what is that bluebird seeing going on?
Okay.
So this is a tactic to try to get people like out of their body, out of the place of the emotions, to kind of narrate the events as more of a spectator. And this can actually help so that they can get the story out without getting super emotional.
Pulled out my hair,
What?
had my hands up. That is it.
Does the bluebird see which side of the car you got in on?
Well, the car didn't move after it stopped, so I would say that would be the passenger side.
But you don't know.
I don't remember.
That's fine.
I don't even remember the back door opening.
Okay. And when you're talking about back door, you're talking about side door or hatch? Or do you know?
The passenger side of the vehicle, there was 2 doors.
Okay.
I don't remember the back door.
The rear passenger.
Correct. Opening.
So I know that this isn't everyone's experience, but I'm just going to project mine out there because some people might identify with this. I find that if I'm in a situation where I feel like I'm in extreme danger, I actually do remember everything because my brain switches into survival mode and it's like everything slows down and I'm trying to analyze every single little thing around me so that I can try to get out. So for me personally, I find it odd that when she enters the actual state of danger, she just blanks out. Because generally, I don't think that that's how a lot of people's brains work in those scenarios. And then wait, somebody says not for me. Somebody said I'm the opposite. That's my experience. So I find her statements kind of odd to me, but I encourage you to think if you were in that situation, you know how you think in, fight or flight kind of situations. What would you do?
It wasn't what I saw, it was what I felt. I was very nauseous.
Okay.
Smelling laundry detergent on the pillowcase that was over my head. Pillowcase, hood, sheet,
Do you know when
something.
Do you know when that was put on your head?
No,
Do you remember where you were when you realized it was on your head?
the floor of
Floor.
the vehicle.
Also, another thing to note though, some people, the way your brain works is think about alcohol. When you drink a lot of alcohol and you black out, what's happening is your brain's not erasing those memories. In that period of time when you're really, really drunk or, whatever, your brain just stops producing the chemical that helps you create memories. So if you feel like you're about to enter an extremely traumatic situation, your body might also kind of release those chemicals to just say, let's stop creating memories right here. This is going to be too painful. I don't want to remember. So that is also a response.
On my side.
Is the vehicle moving or stationary?
The vehicle was moving.
Were you asked to put it on or did somebody put it on you?
I woke up with it on.
Do you remember, was there filtered light coming through the hood? Do you know what I mean by that?
Shadows from the road?
Okay.
Yes, it was light.
Do you have a sense of speed that you're traveling?
It was windy.
Okay.
Windy roads make me nauseous.
Okay. Any recollection of time and distance from before you stopped? Tell me more about
I
that.
remember
that's what the first thing I remember is the nausea, and waking up and trying to.
Dude, it's a literal car wreck, but I can't look away.
Trying to move. My wrist hurt really badly, and my hips were very achy.
There's several days in an abduction, and we're 46 minutes in, and we're just getting to the car pulling up.
Do you have some thoughts you want to add in for clarification?
So I went through before my daughter put the wrong code in my phone and erased my entire phone yesterday.
Oh my God. I'm gonna let that one sink in for a minute, folks. Maybe it was the daughter that accidentally put the wrong code in the phone too many times on her dad's phone and then just erased the whole thing. Maybe it was. Maybe that wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Sherry.
I believe she said it was the older lady, the younger lady driving, older lady passenger.
So while you were
Correct.
gone, he was updating us on some prior thoughts that you had in the last couple of days about some of your.
I find this interesting that she says the older lady was driving and the younger lady was the passenger. Generally, I find the aggressor in a kidnapping or some kind of violent crime, they want to be in complete control, so they don't want to be driving. They want to be able to hold that little tiny revolver or a knife, or they want to be able to keep their eye on you and do something if you decide to escape because their counterpart is busy driving.
telling
So
us,
she claimed that the
you
older
know,
one was
something
the
about,
aggressor, but the younger
you
one
made
was
an
the one that let her
observation you had
go.
thought the other day that the female was possibly leading out the vehicle, like she was getting out or something to that effect. Does that,
Yes,
you
the
recall
door
that?
was open and the body language was that she was getting out of the vehicle. But what I can't remember is were her feet on the ground or were they on, what's the thing that cars have? Steps.
Step side or running board?
Thank you. That's what I can't remember. I can't remember if her feet were actually on the ground or foot, or was it on steps thing.
And that you had an observation or a thought that
Oh,
the
was this
back
switched
window in
around?
the vehicle
I
was
don't know.
large,
Long,
long.
yes.
Okay, describe what do you mean by? I mean, it's one of those. Duh, Brian. Describe that for me.
Not like a truck bed that's covered like a SUV.
Okay.
But some SUVs are like shorter.
Right.
It was longer.
You're talking about from side to side. You're
Yes.
talking about the back, or if it
Not
is
the passenger door window. There's
Actual
another window
rear
past the passenger door.
Oh my
window.
God, Sherry.
For clarification.
Okay,
vehicles
we're gonna
heading
keep it going.
northbound.
What was the first thing you remember?
The first thing I remember was the zip ties on my hands. And then the clothing that was very big. It was baggy clothing. It was sweatpants and a sweatshirt. And I did not have socks and I was very cold. And
They
there
took
was
her
zip ties on my
socks off?
hands. And I didn't feel good. I couldn't stand up. I was very dizzy.
What color was the hat, Sherry?
When you first had this in the sweatshirt stuff, is that the same stuff that you were found in the other day?
No,
How so?
because they would change me.
Okay.
Because there was a drawstring on the sweatpants. There was a drawstring, and the other one didn't have a drawstring.
How many times do you think you were changed or had change of clothes? Obviously, at least twice. So it's certainly
Yeah, I think maybe one more time.
Did it seem like the clothes were new
The
or old?
wait a minute.
Okay.
The sweatshirt, the top was changed more because I was trying to manipulate her.
My skin was like on fire. It was really itchy everywhere, and I started this rash
Mm-hmm.
that's up in here. It was starting to like swell,
Mhm.
starting to swell so bad that it was like putting pressure on my arm. So I was trying to manipulate them. I need some kind of medicine. Like, look at my skin. You need to
Who openly admits to the ability to willingly manipulate anybody? Like, like what? Yeah, it's stupid. Just said a manipulator. Yeah, what was that? A flex? Like, well, hold on. Did it work?
wash me. You need to give me medicine. You need to get me something. And I was using that, and it was so itchy. So they would argue about washing my clothes, and I was
You know
able to
what?
take.
I'm just gonna throw out a crazy conspiracy theory here. So she describes, the clothing, da da da, and then she does this on Itchy.
And I was using that, and it was so itchy.
Listen, this is conspiracy time. You're allowed to, okay? You're allowed to. I'm gonna just go out on a limb in Bo's conspiracy world, and I'm gonna say this actually happened. What if, because Sherry couldn't take any of her clothes, she couldn't take anything because she had to appear missing, when she went to stay with her ex-boyfriend, she had to wear his clothes, his, sweatshirt, his sweatpants that was missing a drawstring or something. And what if his clothes were dirty and she was itching from wearing them? She would be angry at him that his clothes were so dirty. And this detail, she's making up a lot of details here, but that anger comes off to me as very real and very entitled. So and anyways, the end conspiracy world, just a thought.
I want to say 2 showers. They weren't really, if you want to call them a shower. It was get in, rinse water down your back, and get out. But she let me wash my underpants in the shower.
Were you able to see at that time, or were you still had it back of your
No,
head?
I could see.
Okay.
And that was when I was trying, it was always look down. Don't look at us, look down.
What?
I was never allowed to look up.
You need to wash these clothes again, and you need to get me some medicine because this is itchy. Sherry looks so fucking pistol whipped.
The first day with the zip ties, getting out of them because they were behind my back. So I pulled them. I did one of these moves. And that's what this scar right there is from, is the very beginning when I got them off. And I bit them because I couldn't, because Keith and I have even tried this move before, the whole, power through it and bust it. And I tried that and was unsuccessful. and it cut right here. And I was like, I remember doing this with Keith. How the F do I get these off? And I tried that several times, and I tried the
You
power.
want to know how I got these
Bust
scars?
it down, and that's where it cut in right there. And then I was like, I can't bust through them. So then I just chewed it off, and I cut my lip right here, and then I busted them. And then it was like I tried the door. I could tell that the door had a deadbolt at the top, so I couldn't open the door. And then they came in, and that's all I remember from that experience.
If I was a kidnapper on a mission, I was trying to hold Sherry for ransom or something, you talk back to me, I'm gonna pistol whip you with that little revolver. You try to break out of them zip ties, I'm gonna tape you to the wall. Wow, we got some balls over here. I would never.
No, there's something else there. There's something else after the zip ties that happened. After I broke the zip ties. I'm trying to think if maybe there was something around my feet or something, but there's something else.
I just can't think of what it's gonna be yet.
You come back to it.
Sorry, this is professional true crime commentary.
There was boards on the windows, and I yanked that fucker out of the wall super quick, and that's what got her in the room, was that noise. I was standing on the bed to get to the window.
Ah! She pulled the chains off the wall. Ah! I don't. What does she think? You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing. You guys know that meme of Patrick where he's just like chained down like that, and Sherry just power lifts her way out of it. What Marvel movie does she think she's in? All right. I can't believe that we gave Sherry over an hour of our time, sped it up, and there was nothing of substance. That was